Hi, let's start the chapter. Okay, in this chapter, we'll talk about strategic frameworks, part of the strategic leadership in IT. In this chapter, what we're going to learn, we will understand the meaning of strategic framework in general and technology and the cloud frameworks in specific. We're also going to learn how to apply and adopt various frameworks, explain the difference between best practice and standard, and become familiar with the top technology and cloud standards. So what's a framework? Framework is an essential supporting structure of a building vehicle or objective. So it's essential things for any building. A basic structure underlying such as system, concept, or text. Now, what is information technology frameworks? IT strategic frameworks defines the essential element of the IT department's overall strategy and how those elements should interact and grow to produce a continued value. A cloud adoption framework. A cloud adoption framework built the structure of people, process, and technology, these three always together, where they providing a solid assessment of where you are in through your journey of the cloud and what kind of action program that get you to where you want to be. So basically, we're looking at the people, process, and technology and analyzing where are we and where it's going to take us and where we supposed to be, want to be. So if you look at this example, is basically people operations, behaviors, communication, and then purely process like cost control, incidents management, instrument, and the technology, the networking, the resource management. But there is a common between these three is identity and access plus data management for people, process, and technology. And there is a common things between people and process. There is a common thing between people and technology, and process and technology. We'll look at them, all of these. Now, the way Google Cloud maturity scales down, first, what you do, you learn, you lead, you scale, and you secure. So you learn means a self-taught third-party reliance. If you want to be a strategic, then you have to be organized, training, third-party assistant. But if you want to be in the field of learning in transformational, this is peer learning and sharing, which is a third-party stuff augmentation only. In a lead, we'll explain the same thing, the tactical part, the strategic part, and the transformational part. So it's in a scale. There is a three types, the tactical, the strategic, the transformation. So it's in the secure. We'll do that. We'll explain that. The second example, the Azure Cloud Adoption Framework. And also we're going to define how it's done. Define the strategy, then a plan for it, and get ready, adopt, and govern and manage during the plan, ready, and adopt all these stages. That's the Azure the cloud framework. So why to adopt a framework. So we've seen now two types of framework. Why we adopt a framework? It's because it's an industry best practice, which is a frameworks offer best practice data resource that IT expert and business decision makers need to achieve their desired business outcome. So that's the reason we have a framework to do, because it's about selecting best practice. Governance. It will have a budgetary control and right access. And for the security and compliance, you will have a holistic approach to ensure compliance with the industry standard and various regulations. There's more benefits. We don't need to know right now. So what's a best practice and what's a standard? The best known method, technique, or a proven process used to achieve an end goal, a standard. So a method to reach a standard. A standard is usually established by an authority or a role of a principle or by a general consent, de facto standard, as a basis of comparison, typically used to achieve a specific look, quality, quantity, level, grade, etc., or obtain a specific result or create a safe environment. We'll explain the difference between standard and practice and definitions. There is a diversity of bodies involved in the preparation of standard use globally. These include governmental or a treaty organization, NGOs or non-governmental organization, and organizations that either specialize in standardization or involved in other activities. In general, an international standard is voluntary and has no legal status unless a regulatory authority requires conformance to the standard. We are looking for a standard. It is useful to also search a standard developer site. So when we're looking for a standard, we need to look for standard developer sites. There's a lots of them, ANSI or American National Standard Institute. There is others like HIS, Tech Street, SAI or SAI Global. These are different standards that you can allocate and look at them. There's also what you call NIST, which is a National Institute for Standards and Technology. It's developed and distributed standards primarily for government use, but which are widely used by the industries. So there's different ones. And the ones you know much better, probably ISO or International Standard Organization. And there is a different type of ISOs. There's ISOs, IEC, which is for cloud computing. There is also for information technology, and there is also for security. Thank you.